Radio Africana, your non-stop entertainment radio.
Can we give each other hope? 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 Hope. Each other's hope. That's what we need. That's what we need. So do not be afraid to keep each other safe. I'm sure you'll be amazed what you can do. One love for your brother, one love for your sister. Don't find many others, find strength to what's true. So I have a tiny question, I guess the answer doesn't differ. Everything's gonna be okay. Could you be a hope bringer? I'm asking you to be a hope bringer. Can we give each other hope? Can we give each other hope? You could, even at times, stay alive. Do it twice just to keep it alive. So take a look inside your heart. Decide up and do your part. One love for your brother, one love for your sister. Don't find many others, find strength to what's true. So I have a tiny question, I guess the answer doesn't differ. Everything's gonna be okay. Could you be a hope bringer? I'm asking you to be a hope
Ready? Is the mic on? Yeah.
Hello family, welcome back to Second Chances. I'm your host Hilary Asumu, and tonight we are here where we lift up living donors and organ donation, conversations with truth, heart and action. Last week we explored opting out of the organ donor register and looked at what different faiths say about giving the gift of life. It was such a powerful session, and if you tuned in, I hope you were uplifted. Now today we are digging into a real life pain point, and this is common for most organ donors. You've done something incredible, you stepped out to become a living donor, but now you're wondering, how do I get my employer to actually support me when I return to work? Will they understand? Will they be flexible? Will they even know what my rights are? So listen tonight, I've got you covered. By the end of this hour, you will know exactly how to protect yourself, advocate for your needs, and walk back into that workplace with confidence and pride. First, a little fire to set the vibe. Yes, Bonner Boys, level up, because today is all about leveling up your knowledge and power. So I'll see you back here in a bit.
Twice as tall, at least to feel better.
We, wow, Burna Boy got us all charged up, all the way up, level up. Level up is about growth, self-betterment, and rising up to the full potential. The exact mindset we need right now before diving into our rights as a living donor. And that's the energy we're carrying into this next part, which is about knowing your rights. So here in the UK, when you become a living donor, whether it's a kidney or part of your liver, you're protected under several laws. Your employer cannot legally penalize you for taking time off related to donation. You're covered under the Equality Act 2010, so that's the Disability Protection, Employment Rights Act 1996, protection from unfair dismissal. Even though donating an organ isn't a disability, the recovery process can temporarily affect your ability to work, meaning employers must make reasonable adjustments under these acts. So listen carefully. So reasonable adjustments might include flexible hours, remote work options, phase returns, or lighter duties. This is to help you settle back into work. So don't allow anybody tell you otherwise. I am actually giving you the expo right now. If you're Nigerian, you know what that means. I'm giving you the expo to everything that you need to know if you become a living donor. So I don't see any reason why you cannot donate, because all of these excuses or reasons that you are thinking about, I am breaking them down tonight. So what should you do before surgery? Meet with your workplace HR, submit your hospital's official letter confirming your living donor surgery. Then during recovery, stay in touch, okay? You all know that whether you are off after 7 days, you have to self-certify, and after that, you have to keep in touch with your HR or your manager to let them know how you're doing. They need that for the files. So even a short email to update them while you ill, that is okay. And before you return, arrange a return to work meeting. We all know that if you have been working a long time, you know that is exactly what is going to happen. You have to have a return to work so that they can go over what you need, what they need to put in place, those reasonable adjustments they need to make. So have a clear list of your needs and don't leave it to chance. You must tell your HR. You must tell them what's happening. You must tell them that you are going to be donating an organ, maybe a kidney or part of your liver, or you're going to be donating bone marrow. One of those, you always have to let your HR know. Don't leave it till the last minute to let them know, because they have to prepare for you going off work and getting somebody to cover your post or the work you're going to do, the work you're supposed to be doing whilst you're off sick. So those employees in the office, your colleagues who are in the office, it is not something to hide. It's something to be proud of. You are helping somebody to live a better life. You're giving them a second chance at life. So always, if you can, if you know you think you can do it, and I think you should, tell your colleagues as well. Tell them that this is what I'm doing. I signed up to the organ donor register, or I approached my living donation team in my local hospital, and this is the date when that when the donation is going to take place, the surgery is going to take place, and you'll be surprised how much support your colleagues are going to give to you. So coming up next, we'll talk about how to actually ask for support without fear. See, I was just saying it. But first, let's vibe into a track that speaks to persistence and hope. Great Nation by Timi Dakolo, perfect for our next segment about standing strong. I'll see you back here in a bit. Wow, that was Timi Dakolo, and he always reminds us who we are, a great people, a great nation. This song is very uplifting and focused on pride, identity, and unity. Perfect before encouraging, it is perfect because before I encourage you, listeners, to speak loudly, boldly, and ask for what you need at work, I think that, when we stand tall, it starts with knowing how to speak up for ourselves. When you're ready to return to work, it's not about hoping for support. It's how you get others to support you and how you present your needs with clarity and calm. And here's how you can do that. And, I don't know if most people know, my background is human resources and employment law. And I thought that this would be something that I can bring to help people who are thinking of becoming organ donors, to help them understand the process a little bit more, especially when they're thinking about their employment, how they are going to manage, in terms of, letting their employers know, and how they're going to tell their colleagues. Because some people think that, when they do that, people are going to, ask them questions, because it's such a taboo subject to raise amongst friends. So that is why I'm doing that tonight. And I hope that you are home right now, this lovely Sunday evening, tucked up into your chair and having a little hot drink, maybe hot chocolate or hot milk, because it's almost time to start preparing for bed, and maybe some Zobo drink, or some warm water, because some people like to drink warm water before they go to bed. And you're listening to me right now, and that this is really important, especially if you're considering becoming an organ donor. So here's what you need to, there's how you position yourself in a way that your employer understands what your needs would be. So number one, write down exactly what you need when you come back from the hospital. So it could be reduced hours, it could be working from home as remote working, and also no heavy lifting. As you know, when you come out of the hospital, you would have stitches in place, and that depends on how long you are off for. So you need to let your employers know those information. If you're leaving the hospital, my advice would be to speak to the doctor who did your surgery, or the physician who comes to see you after your surgery, and ask them how long they think you can take off work. Most times you are able to go back to work within 4 weeks, because you are the donor and not the recipient. The recipient would stay in the hospital another 2 weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks, just to ensure that their body accepts the organ. As you all know, our antibodies are very active in our body. So when they notice a foreign body, they are looking for a way to push it out. They rush to that site to push it out. So that's why some people get rejection, because their antibodies are very high. So write down all these things I've just mentioned. Reduced hours, what kind of reduced hours you're looking at, whether you want to work from home, because obviously you have to pay the bills. So if you can get your employer to give you those reduced hours, or remote working, so that you're doing your work from your laptop, from your house, from your bedroom, and you can still earn money whilst you're off. Thank goodness. I know COVID was a really bad thing, but it also brought about some good work practices. And also, if you're going back to work, if you're in the manual labor part of work, you have to speak to your employers about heavy lifting. Number two is to ask for a return to work meeting. Now, this meeting is really important if you're coming back from surgery. So it's always better to have a face-to-face or a video call if you can't make that meeting, that face-to-face meeting. So when you have a video call, it's just like I am doing right now. You're looking at me and you're talking to me, and you can articulate what you want to say to your employer. And I know that most employers will really want to support you, because what you've just done is the best thing anybody can do in this life. So when you have that, when you're going to that meeting, make sure you have all these things I'm mentioning now. Take them with you to the meeting. Number 3, bring documentation. This is really, really important. You have to have your hospital letters, your fit notes, or occupational health reports if possible. Now, usually, if you're coming back from surgery, or you're coming back from off sick, time off because you're going to do a surgery, or you have been in hospital, usually they will ask you to attend OCI health appointment. So your HR will arrange that for you. Now, the report usually will go to your HR because it is a workplace OCI health department. That is if your organization has that. So if you're going, in case they don't have it with them, just to be on the safe side, take your occupational health report, a copy with you, not the original, because you need that for your own files. And also, as I said, the hospital letters, so that is for your file. So those hospital letters would be your discharge notes. It would be a letter from the consultant. It would be your list of medication if possible, and also maybe advice that your doctor's given you, and it would be in that letter, because that's something you can ask the physician or the renal consultant to help with, so that your employer would understand how to support you at work. Now, fit notes, we do know that is really important. So those fit notes you are going to get from your GP. Well, usually the hospital can also give you those fit notes as well, but then it does expire. So you need to take you'll need to get some from your GP and keep a copy, which you would take to that meeting. Now, this last one is really, really important. Be confident, be confident, but collaborative, because you don't want to go in there and because it's my right, I have to have it. You need to go there. You've done something good, but don't forget, your workplace is not a charity. Okay, they're there to make profit. Yes, while they're able to support you and help you integrate back into the workplace, you still have to accord them that due respect. So use words like, I'm committed to doing my best work while I fully recover, and here is what you would help me succeed, and you list all of the things that I've just mentioned. And remember, you are not asking for favors, okay? You're not asking for favors. You're exercising your right to a safe, supportive environment. However, you have to, treat them with dignity and respect, just the way they would treat you. You don't go in there and pound your chest like, what do you call it, King Kong, and say, oh yes, you've got to give me this. Yes, it is your right, but you have to understand that your employer has to operate a workplace, and consider your colleagues who are taking on the extra slack that you've left behind. And honestly, employers who support living donors show they have true heart. It's good for the brand, and you are doing something that they can say, oh, one of my employees actually donated an organ to somebody. It could be their sister, it could be your neighbor, it could be altruistic. So altruistic is when you walk off the street, walk into your local hospital and ask to see your local living donation team and say, I would like to donate my organ, a kidney or part of my liver to somebody. I don't care who it is, I don't care what part of the country they are, I just want to donate. And that is an amazing thing to do. So next up, how to deal with an unsupportive employer. Yes, we are going there because we know that there are situations, a lot of situations, where employers don't want to help. So, but first, let's lift our heads high with Pato Rankin's Celebrate Me, because you deserve your flowers. So accept your flowers right now with Pato Rankin. Celebrate Me now, not later. Okay, I'll see you back here in a little bit. See you in a bit. Well, welcome back. Celebrate me while I'm alive. Celebrate me. That was Pato Rankin, and Celebrate Me says respect and honor. Honor me now. Exactly the mindset donors need when facing employers who might not immediately support them. Powerful words from Pato Rankin, because being a living donor is a celebration of life. But what if your employer doesn't want to support you? Maybe they're dragging their feet, maybe they are giving you attitude. Don't panic. No, Auntie Hilaria is here. I'm going to tell you what to do. So here's your emergency playbook, okay? Follow these closely. So stay professional, keep all communication polite. I did say before, you have to be polite, you have to treat your employer with dignity and respect like they would do you. So stay polite. Whatever conversation you're having, be polite and document everything. emails, meeting notes, every single thing. I'm giving you guys the expo, so get your notepad and get a pen, especially those people who are currently thinking about being an organ donor. Okay, so know when to escalate. So know when to, escalate issues. So if your HR or your manager are resisting, request occupational health involvement. I did talk about this a few minutes ago in the last segment. I did say that if you're coming back from off sick or you're coming back from a hospital admission, they will be asking you to go to occupational health to see if you are fit to return to work. So get your occupational health involved so that they can assess you and let your employer know, the HR or your manager know what they need to do to support you coming back into work. And also, you can seek help. You have a right to file a grievance. I'm not saying you should go fight your employer, but there are ways to do that. But try and explore every avenue first before you go down the line of a grievance. I know it sounds as if it is, going to be a battle, but it's not a battle. And majority of employers would support you if you are coming forward to be an organ donor. Okay, so don't worry about, oh, would it get to that point? This is just for you to prepare. And as I said, my background is human resource management and also employment law. So, and we know that the new employment right bill is going through the houses of parliament right now. It's currently in the House of Lords. So there would be a little bit more coming later this year, or well, not this year, next year, 2026. And I will be raising awareness about what the employment rights bill is. Because a lot of employers are looking at it and thinking there's a whole lot of things out there. But right now, we're not worrying about that. What we're talking about is not anything to worry about, is your rights as a living donor. So don't panic. So you have a right to file a grievance. That's what I just said. So charities like Give a Kidney and NHS Blood and Transplant can help back you up. Also, my charity, WSH BME Kidney Network, will support you from start to finish. You don't have to worry. There are also the unions who will support you, but we are here specifically for Black kidney patients, Black and Asian kidney patients. Even if you're white, we will support you, because what you've just done is a good thing. We are one, whether we are donors or recipients. So if you have any issues and you can't find anybody to support you, if you are a kidney patient or a donor, reach out to the WSH BME Kidney Network and we will support you through the process, okay? No panic, because what you've done is a good thing. And as a recipient myself, I am so grateful that I will take it on, okay? And if you decide that you're going to move to our next point, which is a last resort, okay? Because by the time you put in your grievance, I know that a lot of HR departments or teams are really good, especially the HR managers. They are especially very good. When they know that this is what you've done, they would be looking for ways to ensure that your manager treats you right. So employment tribunals are rare, but I just want you to know they exist to protect you. So if you think you're not getting the kind of support you need, then the employment tribunal is there to help you. You are not alone, and you shouldn't feel alone. And as I said, people know exactly how to support you. So if you're feeling that things are not going right and you feel that you've contacted your employer and you've told them when you're coming back, your employer says it's okay, but then your direct line manager is giving you grief, follow these points. I'll recap those points again. So those points are for you to stay professional, keep our communication polite, and document every meeting or emails. Number 2, know when to escalate. So explore every option before you decide to escalate. So that is if your HR or your direct line manager or their boss is being difficult. Then you can request for occupational health. They usually will send you to occupational health anyway before you come back into work. And when you go to occupational health, they will discuss options for you to support you to come back into work. And also seek help. If you want to file a grievance, ensure you get the right advice, ensure you speak to your union, and you make them understand what the issue is, and then take it forward, okay? And as I said, WSH BME Kidney Network is here to support you either as a donor or as a recipient. And as a last resort, the employment tribunals are there. There are law clinics, there are law centers in Greater Manchester, and they're there to support you. Everybody will do what they can to help you because you have helped another human being. So then our next song is Asa, and that is Fire on the Mountain. So I'll see you back here in a little bit, and hope you enjoy the song. Hey, listeners, as I always tell it like it is, there's fire on the mountain when you don't take action. And today, we lit a fire of knowledge and power in this space. So let's quickly recap what we've covered today. We talked about how, as living donors, you have real rights in the workplace, and nobody can take that away from you. We broke down exactly how to ask for the support you need without fear. And we armed you with a plan for what to do if your employer isn't as supportive as they should be. Because listen, your gift of life is priceless. You don't know what you do when you come forward to say, I want to donate. And you deserve to be protected. Really, you deserve to be protected, respected, and celebrated for it. Now, listeners, I want you to take what you've learned today and share it. Talk to your family, your friends, talk to your colleagues, your church group, your neighbors on your street. You never know who needs this information until you open your mouth and share. And don't come along next week. We're diving deep into conversation that's close to home. How to navigate cultural myths and family objections around living donation. Trust me, you want your aunties, your uncles, your cousins, your neighbors, everyone tuned in. If you haven't already spoken to your friends and family about living donation, do that today. Sign up to the organ donor register at organdonation.nhs.uk/register your decision, and tune in next week where we'll be talking about navigating cultural myths and family objections to living donation. Trust me, you don't want to miss that one. Invite 2 friends to tune in. Bring your aunties, as I said, bring your aunties, your uncles, your cousins. In fact, snatch somebody off the street. Let's change lives, one conversation at a time. And if you have a pastor friend, bring them on as well, because I am willing to answer questions. Ask those questions. I'm always here to take those questions and actually break down those fake news and myths. And last week when I was talking about people signing out of the organ donor register, I meant it. If you keep signing out, what are those 7,000 plus people on the transplant list going to do? What do you want them to do? Lose hope? No, we can't allow that. You can't. It's not only a living donor you can be. You can also be a deceased donor. So if you feel you don't want to donate your organs whilst you're alive, again, I've just given you the link to do that, and I'll give that to you again. It's organdonation.nhs.uk/register your decision. Go to that link and sign up. And when you signed up, have a talk, have a discussion, have a conversation with your family, with your friends, with your neighbors, with even people on your street, and say, oh, I just signed up to the organ donor register. Have you signed up? Because if we don't do that, as a community, as a race, kidney disease is killing us. Not slowly, very fast. And we need kidneys, okay? We do. And let me tell you one other fact I don't think most of you have realized, is that 1 in 3 die every day. So when you signed up, speak to your family whilst you're watching TV, whilst you're having a meal, you're sitting down to dinner, or you're just hanging around, talking, whatever. Start the conversation. They might look at you weirdly and say, what's wrong with this one? Keep doing it, okay? Get your friends to tune in next week, because I need them to hear this, okay? And we'll leave you today with Waje's beautiful song, I Wish. It is a call for urgent action. Perfect after encouraging listeners to sign up and have that difficult conversation and invite others to the next show. So it is a reminder that we need action, not just intention. Let's be the change. Okay? And until next week, keep fit, keep happy, and love your neighbor as yourself. Yes, Waje. Wait, I wish. I'll see you soon. Bye.
Yeah.